Meeting at the Okatechi Afrifa-Mensah. Said you know for so long I have been off the screens and so and yes I the baby for frokra ebremo. We are sure say baby no ebusa say adiana yedeba. We eye baby for frokra a enkensu emo chiao. Na different from all the things we've done in the past. For the records, as the name suggests, maybe a year back yen will show you so Ebekan will show you Subiano. And some verifiable. Ubetimi akwa check it. Na wangasa wa seteni say ye kanokre and I yan kanokre. Bosiri mukabia nim. Ene mene obi agana hase ya kase sebi impreduason na adwene mu abobew adwene no emu abobew no wasua de wenumade Ghana mpanimfo na nka nokre na nkom ka nokre ase nipa we ese nke de si akono no timi ye neoma ebo o man no nanso mo ankasa munim wo man bia ya chichire mensemre no in the person of Al Wahab Farouk me ankasa me papa me so ame aja ai no you protege Al Wahab Farouk international relations
international diplomatic consultant.
International diplomatic consultant.
Yes.
Make ya mabon emi angasa nana montua media chirinti no. Me so enche bia na me masters in international relations and diplomacy. Baba.
Yes.
No akwa baba show no so.
Pacha me so.
Na bibia aboko dia.
Inshallah. Bibia.
Me hu no wache.
I want you show me.
So by adwuma me ye na ja me try to put it together. Me that's it.
Why are there? So congratulations.
Thank you.
A very nice place.
Thank you. Now, young go straight to the point.
Yep.
You bedin komo akwa share the SC1 wa Sherman and Nigeria elections and the effect on the sub-region. But in the first place, young ko ye chikakra otiwe we penny wani afi. Wo mind Ghana time wa wunyini. Na Ghana, it is what type of Ghana did you grow up in?
Well, as any nation grows, of course, it's difficult to measure generation to another generation or to compare 2 or 3 different generations. There's your own generation via what it comes with.
Right.
And a generation via so on the developmental stages.
Right.
And a generation via so what the people that comes with that generation. It has to do, and I say, the upbringing, the cultural settings, the traditional settings, and then also the influence. Fine. Yeah, but to Ghana, my age, we didn't see Gold Coast.
Right.
So when we're talking about Ghana, the people from Gold Coast, they're also part of Ghana. But then if you want to compare what the Gold Coast people lived in until 1957, then they also have a different orientation because it was under, even in terms of education, no more new or different colonial approach. But when we became Ghana, and as a Ghana, a different approach in the way of doing things, politics, socio-politics, socio-economic, any tradition, culture, all boxed together. No? Until you realize that Ghana today has gone through phases and stages. The same thing Gold Coast went through stages and also phases. But in growing up, we came to meet the system of education, disciplined masters, disciplined teachers, and disciplined school. The emphasis was about learning.
Okay.
The emphasis, was about respect. The emphasis about they teach you beyond school, beyond classroom. That so now who say mami obi suadia or a penina kojeswa. So now who say abruabi if you are sitting down. So sorry. All these things were mandatory, taught in schools. But here we are. If you're asking me about Ghana today and generation, how we grew up, these were the kind of upbringing. In our time, you don't need to know, say, where your papa and now where your mama kuno timebo. It was treated so. Whereas you do that.
Obi atimiti.
Obi atimiti.
Obo mfa chance ne so ami.
Obi aba yo. Obi aba yo obi ba. So your mother's friend can lash you on the street and tell you to go and tell your mother, say, wabo. And even that one is even a worse punishment when you go home to say. There is the worst of it. Do you understand me? So the chewa, not just wa mafia meka, now they are showing hoko. These were the kind of things. But let's look at comparative analysis.
Right.
Today, say me ba Farouk Awahab na me ba Pia Bonting. Quote unquote, be cry minuya or 2 a cry no kobo me ba. There will be fireworks. School, teacher new show, proper one. Today, teacher new kobo be ba. There's a rule of law. There are a lot of sanctions. There is a power from elsewhere.
Obviously, you corporal punishment.
Yes, you corporal punishment. Nevertheless, and no, they reduce it. Call it the respect and the discipline level. And just all watch here. Everything is neutralized. And you're there to autopilot. Whether say we are colonized still, and now say Afroitic or Afroism stage, and now says colonialism and Afroism combined.
At this particular moment.
At this particular moment. That is where the country, and now say in growing up Ghana, you are confused. Because part and some of the generation still live in a colonial mentality.
Okay.
Whereas others also lives in a bit accelerated.
When you say colonial mentality?
Yes. What I'm trying to say is that they still live in the old system and near independence. Bibia where things were very ordered and disciplined manner. So there can be more baby social there could line. One would say respect is still to today. To modern day. So obi practices hard and fear obi to other side of his way pre-colo. So there's and I'm referring to the colonial mentality say obo feel say no. So I respect, and you say me ba intimate shatter there, and you know what I mean. That's settings, But so we are a home of Ghana today. People refer to we are colo. What does it?
So at this point we are more of a confused
nation. Confused
we
nation.
Don't have an identity.
The identity is not there. The cultural identity is vanished.
Okay.
Traditional identity is vanished.
Okay.
Now, no, we have the identity of selfishness. Yes. Identity of self-reliance, of course, is not bad, but then me and my kids or me and my family and not beyond.
So the communal setup we had in the past,
it's completely
broken.
That's what I'm doing. You eat in everybody's house. That is what I'm saying. If you do that now, WhatsApp or that wouldn't happen. But if you look at the integration at the time, the integration, the cultural integration, the family settings was so enhanced, not too strong. Say, I don't need to wait my mother to come from work or to come from market before so but my aunt will call me and feed me even before she comes. I don't need for them. Any room was my room. In growing up, that is what I knew. And then be a your room. You can go and sleep anywhere. But now, whereas, even in your own house, a father, Obia assigned rooms and assigned entities, assigned responsibility and assigned toilets. Say Bakukura cross carpet. The other side, it's a problem. I know a family, okay, and that family on their dining table Obia on a chair, and reserved until so from child class 1 up to be even at whatever level. Obia inimini baby nakonya baby as watina. You see what it is? It become a kind of, let me call it a robotic style. What does it? It is the new method or new kind of life. Yes, yeah. One would say, Abrofano Crano, Uko baby to say Europe, Central Europe, Middle Europeans and Ukraine. When you go out of their cities where they work and go back to their family home or they go back to their villages, trust me, Afrifa, you'll be surprised. Say Bruni tradition and in a culture and how they withhold it with higher esteem and never, they don't look down upon it. I would say a place like Bavarian region. The Bavarian are the Munich area of Germany, Rosenheim, Boden Road, Austria, Switzerland, Garmisch area. These Bavarians, They have never thrown away any single culture of theirs. And the German folk are very remote in sense of culture. They like it like that. They have months, say be a September and as October festival. From generations as we were even young boys in Europe, almost celebrated it, and they buy beer for the friend and all. But yeah, it's too much. But country Ghana in perspective, which is my country, I have had the chance to travel over 50, 40, 55 countries on the African continent, virtually everywhere. And if we're talking about countries, what break it down, the culture and tradition, and in the way to live as an African, well, you can first name South Africa. And you're almost fault. For them, they were under racial segregation. And they went through an apartheid system. So you can marginally understand, say, that is how our home system here. Bruni making sure said the South African will not have a native food. So on the continent of African is the only country citizens and nationals only aduane so no aduane. Talk of Nigeria, agushi, amala, ogbono, what and what. Yes, Ghana, fufu, banku, those kind of things.
South Africa.
No.
So it was more of a policy of assimilation.
Yes,
taking everything South African and imposing it.
Okay. That is it. You understand? As just like how they named the country. Until almost they are neutralized. But take South Africa out of it. And let's start from the north. When you go to Morocco, the Berbers, they live today like how their forefathers lived. If you go to Algeria, they live today like their fathers lived. If you go to Tunisia, yes, with a little bit
of modification.
But when they get back to their roots home, the stomach dance is still the stomach dance. It hasn't changed. Everything. Let's say we're grown up. Let us take you to anywhere they are playing Ketewa. One show you theater. Who they saw in Yamahu videos be a to maybe do a chair. But Yamono there, take aside even the religion. The religion being a Muslim does not stop me from practicing or being able to practice my traditional medicine. But you're out. How many of them? Yama, Yawu, Mwankraha, Accra, and Ghana. How many kids, politicians, how many kids, chief executives, departments, etc., and aneba akoni kromuda. They only take their kids to their hometown only when their mother is dead, not when their father. So assuming say papa who answer no ba won mana these are things that we are seeking say and not taking the country a lot on the reverse gear.
Okay, on the reverse gear. But quick one. What way when you be a reason normal? When I say you don't reason normal, obviously you are not the usual everyday Ghanaian. Why do you need more Bobbero? I'm sure say when you were growing up, now you see the Ghanaian dream. Na BBC when this what you were expecting to see. Say mo benyi no na Ghana be a certain type of Ghana be. Is this the Ghana you saw yourself in? If in terms of political leadership, in terms of infrastructural development, Ghana we na uhuno say ubenyi na babeto.
I will say a mix up. Yes, and then very no. The very no is that it's a country without a proper structured political, economical, developmental system. In fact, in growing up, even though your mindset was not developed up to the stage to know, however, you could tell out, I like looking at how Ghana today and how Kenya was yesterday and how the countries of the same level where they've reached. That will help you to be able to measure, to answer your concerns. The thing is, you saw, say, you can now see, say, things have gone bad. Because, let's say, if you are within your area, we knew certain cleanliness. Now, you saw BBC town council. Okay?
Tankers.
Yes, the town council for officials. When we were kids, they come in the area, they lash us when we mess up around, and then the mothers, the fathers, even your own father, they subject them to humiliation, penalty, etc. They were not police, they were no soldiers. But it was a big deal to hear say, tankers of Foba. You see the whole area running helter-skelter. Obia pra everywhere. I've not seen that. So if you tell me one of the basics, in several years, right? When you say no, what would you know? Say, uko square no pa. Yes, there's a certain kind of parade. Be ambeye, mobetima bonyo mokra mamuti cryam ya a certain marching pass, marco dem, margina hall until so school teacher baba, and a whole lot of things. All these things have paid it out. Now, in terms of education, your time, I remember say even chocolates were given to us in classrooms. We don't see that anymore. Of course, economies of skills will not be the same forever. Nevertheless, a certain appreciation has also not taken place. So in growing up, looking at, Sabia, there was a certain Ghana, the dreams Ghana. No, American declared American dreams. So they bring you up with the system of the dreams you reach. That the America in 1846, we are heading towards a certain different America and to show the technological advancement. Yeah, we haven't grown up with any technology. So if
we don't have a plan.
No, there's no technology. There was anybody to suggest that there was a Ghanaian. There had never been any.
There had never been a Ghanaian.
There had never been.
When J.J. Rollins came with a year vision 2020,
all those ones. You see, this is a fine country that knows how to write fine subjects, concepts, designer of concept. Ghana is the best. UN will tell you that in terms of proper documentation and proper scripts, Ghana tops all the whole Africa. And in fact, we know how to write. So when it comes to your developmental plan, the intimate, but if we are to structure a certain concept, bulletin to give to international community, Ghana tops or Ntina Debi Kasa or UN General Assembly, because you're very, 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 what they say, audit when it comes to presentations. Now, the Ghanaian dream back again. If you would ask me, what was I dreaming of to become or to be in the future, I will ask you, say, it is still the same system of the secondary school living, and then also to the university, and sixth form, and then to the university. It is the same system that courses were like. They give to you what they give to Afrifa, because you're Afrifa-Mensah, but what they will give to our hub. Yakra, those days now would, excuse me, Pepe name no, now in Papa. A certain courses were reserved for you to do, whereas others, they do not have the chance, or medicine and all that. Ghana police recruitment team, army recruitment team, a lot of things. What is a certain job or reserved for certain tribal settings. We will not go there too much because we don't need to do that. But Ghana had not seen or had not said why any dream be, so that anybody growing up. That is why still we're going through that.
Because there's no proper plan, no direction.
There hadn't been
no laid down blueprint.
No.
Said the China for Mama will lay down blueprint.
I'll take you through. Mao at a point closed down. There was no university in China. Lee Kuan Yew did the same thing. There was no university in Singapore.
Right.
So what was it? China said that I will not give you any political freedom. When the scale of the war will kill you, you stay in China. I'm only employing you handcraft, learn job. Those calling for political freedom, the West, we are not from the West. We've gone through hardship, post Second World War, post First World War. Go and learn. The right time, the people will come for you. At that time, you are liberated. Still, not any political freedom. Is there any Chinese today who has political freedom? Answer is no. No Chinese has any political, because it's still one party. CCP, Chinese Communist Party. So you need obi say assemblyman be so no obi ababe. No, you are appointed.
So they are focused.
They are focused.
It is not about democracy
with
politics.
A masterpiece of a plan. Okay. Because today, 2023, Afrifa Chinese professor, I will classroom lecture top engineering courses so far. Woman myself to write in China will be failing grammatically. Japan went through the same thing. Korea went through the same thing. Brazil went through the same phase. That practicality and the educational structure and the system, they have to change it. Because they realize that between China and America was 300 good years solid advanced and technological gap. 300 years. Between America and Europe, 100 good years solid. So where do they have the chance? And how did they do it? How were they able to manage to do it? Say, we're close to the gap of 300 years, or no, if we are talking reality in real time. In real terms, China tops America in terms of finance Arguably, Obiabe Timid an argument about, but the Americans themselves,
economic,
yes,
America,
because
which is factual.
population equals to money. And then also reasonable and developmental agenda a country would plan with population is a plus. So America doesn't come anywhere when it comes to physical cash or when it comes to stocks of cash and then development. So you can say
we back to China and
yes.
development, near international system.
Yes.
And the arrangement, how it affects us.
Yes.
But then again, Ghana and the 21st century.
Yes.
You come military coups move over and over and over.
Yes.
Now, maybe I said the Ghanaian dream. Did you ever dream, say, you better not say, now you say, soldier nibi, Obiako won a second econo. For that matter, you better sorry anopa. Na a soldier for Atiagu assignment. Na they call it military operation. For that matter, they are beating people left, right, center in the name of correcting the wrongs. Wouldn't want to I wouldn't watch international. I feel the soldier, the military was the last resort when it comes to military, when it comes to security. Their course, so Shaiman, we take on it and say.
Okay, now I will surprise you here because I understand the versions of military dynamics, Kakra.
Okay.
And that has to do with, say, one, this is a country, a lot of things called information, subjectively, either we're not taught in our schools or we're not brought up with it. But generally, you know, politics have taken a little bit of a center stage. Let me just say, one, every single life matters. So you would also bear with me, say, it is also any feeling and any happy, any soldier and any parent, so on so see your community.
Right.
That is for sure. Is that right?
Right.
Now, the last 10, 15 years till today, Ghana kum nipa che any other country on the sub-region. I'm referring to West Africa.
The sub-region.
We've killed, you can go and do the back check. Please, Ghana security, whoever feels it is not true, come out with your figures.
Ghana security,
not Ghana as a country, nipa unresolved mystery of deaths.
More than
any other country.
From Nigeria.
Take Nigeria out of average numbers, please, okay, because their population is about 350 million. But averagely, Cote d'Ivoire does not kill like that. Irrespective of the fact that Omoko political phase of revolution, you don't count it as that. We're talking about no civil unrest, no civil war, no military war, no military. Ghana has killed in the last 15 years more than any other country.
Benin, consider Togo.
Togo is virtually, Benin is virtually not. Liberia, apart from the fight, you know, it was before the last 15 years. Okay. Sierra Leone went through genocide. It was before last 15 years. I'm talking about consistently the last 15 years. Yakumo Ghana, Ubia Chaneirensa, Ubia Kumneire, Yawu Obisikai, Ubi Kojusikedro, Accra 10 years, ya de Boabon, ya Ubia Frikemu, where you say, count it everywhere. Yakum police ni, Yakum soldier ni, police ni Yakumobi, Ubia Kumobi. Box everything all together. Sit down, make calculative analysis. Say, is there any week that you never read, any day that you don't read in the diaries? Say, Yakumobi or Ghana Hana. We kill more than any other country. But it is a country we hide our feelings, and the world so sympathizes with us, say, because we politically, Switzerland adjusted and positioned ourselves. So international community see Ghana as what? As an angel. It is never. One, you need a violent kind of a system, say communal system, say, oh, ahana udu has no. However, individual killings, ahimfo, instrument, related deaths, a little bit flashes of culture, tradition, related death. Take it from the north, Alavanyo, Nkonya, and all those places. If you look at it from that angle, instrument, and kwano, nipa ewu. Which one of them? Say if you want to get the record straight, as you are saying, and as the program seems to do, no. Let's go to Attorney General Department. Ensure the referred cases. How many cases have been referred to the Attorney General's office for advice related to death? And yet, all of them not. We should really be very careful dealing anything with military.
Okay.
And how public we see the military and how the public views it politically, or we view it when it comes to police comparisons. One, military in any part of the world, quote me, military in any part of the world, they know two things. They are for defense, and then it's a force.
Defense and a force.
And a force. They are there to defend a nation.
Okay.
And they are to use force also to do their defense works. Force means also military actions. The force gives you a gravity of a power.
But is it on civilians?
Relax. Why? Is there any law that allows civilians to kill military and military not the otherwise? I'm building the point to let you know, sir. Military, their job is to defend a country. The uniform of military, it is not the same thing like uniform of a police. Get it clear. When this issue came, there were a whole lot of hula balloons. There were a whole lot of media, rah. Say, military form a kasae. Even the operation was not sanctioned. I was the first to say that, no, they don't work like that. Country Ghana today, if Togo attacks Ghana, military does not need to go to parliament before they react. When you give them, you will have an issue with military that has to do with civilians. They refer you to the Ministry of Defense. But when it comes to their operations, please, soldier ni namwa, they are wounded lions. It is like that in America. Australia is no different. Switzerland is no different. Any country in the world that was structured military, including the Vatican, don't dare go and touch a military, especially with uniform. What does it mean? They are trained to defend the country. They don't want to reduce their number. Please take it clear and go and refer. Their number must not come down. If their number comes down as a result of a fight, they try to revenge. They use force. If say or baby or your operation near boni near to you, see their reactions. They make sure they drag the person
for safety first.
For safety, and they get wilder. Now, Ghanaians of late, you come police for free. You come army free. You come obia free. Yeah, human rights, yes, of course. I'm sorry to say, also know human rights. But then the culture of silence and the culture of lack of voluntary information. Onipa enye akoko. Oya akoko krana eno nam corridor bi onam corner bi. Untimi nchi obi nwo ne sekai. Enkuna bra won team. You can't kill somebody abra one strike and I say bibi nya ne yon shout. So we are talking about civil rights. We are talking about human rights. Are we saying, say, that boy did not shout, that boy did not cry, that boy did, if even he was shot, obey did into the house now no order, area now no order, street now no order, baby or the moja nanti kodu no. There is no human being to pick a phone. Assuming so a cromfroka, you call police. So no human being. When you was screaming, shouting, say we are military, no, nobody could just say no. You intervene. Seriously? How many times you call police for obituary baby cry? Okay. Unless they themselves have to do it. Military doesn't do that. And whoever says, oh man, investigation, there's no better investigator than the military intelligence. I'm telling you.
But people were talking about the excesses.
We come there. Wait a minute. We come there. Military excesses is another thing we have to do with it. When they take you to their site, my country said, at the time omoko form body, and normative so be military uniform, and omnim see military no omoko form body. They don't want to know what you call as SSs. They also refer the body down there as SSs. That is called defense and force. Into omo bromba ya, omuso ho batom no, into military namwa. Some of us are saying, say, Nkokano only protected the frontiers of Ghana. So Cote d'Ivoire saw Babu military in Beba, over down Paso. They have to risk. And Intino, so we share other countries. Check it. Basra, Tama, US, UK, Kuwait war, Kuwait in Iraq war. And when they got to the Basra, UK4 were going civil. American Marines, the women civil. French and Marine, women civil. French in Obedra a down way home, Obetima for Aku. Guerrilla fighters on the ground, on Fahon. So, a mistake, now Kumbaku. That's when the British changed the orientation in the Basra, your friends say, operations. Because their 2 soldiers were killed. So they changed everything. Case scenario, Côte d'Ivoire, during Laurent Gbagbo, and the Alassane Ouattara elections. And when the French troops decided to intervene, and mistakenly, Côte d'Ivoire army, who were guiding Laurent Gbagbo, Ekokum French white police back home. Find out what the French army did in Côte d'Ivoire, or Kati of Yapugon Bridge, or Kati de Plateau Bridge, and or Kati, your friend say, the other main source of the bridge to the city. Treasury. And no more raising helicopters in the air. Correct, don't be a French Côte d'Ivoire army. Army to army, they grounded them. You don't kill any army. So yeah, Bonnie and Amochena, Fanako army, they have the better discipline against their own people. And within the army, you check Kennel. Neso Waboom Raswa, you didn't go called Gadruma, Sergeant, and the discipline, one the double no. What the AK-47 you cram in nature home. Oko, Neso you are, or respecto. Young Cassie, a check Kennel. Wabu Amem Rasuntino, ye Kofa Kennel no be discipline, ye the corporal bemount. That is military law. They don't follow the normal conventional system of other forces.
So yeah, can say in now more excesses near the
excess we talk about it, but right. Ignorance is part of the Ghanaian defense and our arguments. Ignorance. We are ignorant. Military is military. Leave them and kokano. But me say you no the culture of silence. So be far so a phone. Yen you be a phone and no fresh and patch up. Boy no mukuno if you we say anyway military would have limited the operations and zoom into omo baby or moko.
But nobody wanted to say.
Nobody till today.
That
is army. Get it clear. I'm never in support say excesses, but the military, that is what they know. If you say the cow animal shit in there, I'm sorry. Human rights, yes, I would say it's excesses. But to the army, nekoma toa no wajai. And teacher watch ya. When that issue came, I said the military. Uncle Gina court to share uniform your witness in any case related to army. One call defense war. Military could someone defense na call. It's not like the police will be as you IGP. So can be the beer. Yes, you IGP, not police now.
But chief of defense staff, yes, you.
What is a chief of defense staff? Air Marshal, Field Marshal, then they assume no, I'm not court to that. No way. Corporal confirm being called or the sergeant. On sergeant called or the corporal call. Military doesn't come into that. Uniform near the amount defense or defending nation, until they don't want to reduce their numbers.
There was this video of a military guy here, I think around the Ashaman area, where now another guy be hustle or more to show money they can. And people were saying, I think a idea attack also within the Ashaman.
Ashaman, I'm sorry to say, Ubia mewa makrabia ninuya hokan bi. But I'm very sorry once again to say, Ubia ne baka munuya kam ye prano no. Nyamin form you but you cannot value a life that is lost compared to Ubia ne nihu apply the place kotai. You cannot value the life. Wawu 21-year-old boy. System Ghana ha sika na busuanfo betua. Ekwan obefa so military trainer come pass out and wear uniform. Onunu widia. And the military for your SSS.
Yeah, can say James Kobna Bonfe Kabila was making arguments. Say, maybe I do as a nation, we've passed that stage where police should have rather been the one to inquire into the matters rather
military for no. Every year, no. So I read the press statement and also release. Almost say, Yachi enipa. Omanka Wuenasemo. Almost they had an intelligence. And now tell me the military does not also go on the intelligence process. They don't follow up on intelligence. Obviously, the intelligence was that some gang and criminals behind the Ashama area. They were going to fish them out. Oman kasa wani ekunu no. That was their reportage. Say, Oman your intelligence. In doing that, you know, Oman kwache drugs. In doing that, Oman chomsi Oman wiye no. And yaman no Oman is beating na nom de ma police. The police you. Oman chinipa 188. Oman jab 150. Oman kasa oko try no. Oni masha court ewaha. Se French country dia or masha court. Oman be try omo. Oman be ko yapugon cells. Akoji prison key do wabishim. Côte d'Ivoire, Togo, Benin, French country has the Masha court, military for an trial. English countries, Sierra Leone, Liberia, on quite way different. Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ghana, Nigeria. Military does not try anybody anymore post-revolution.
Is it because of orientation?
Your orientation,
your Commonwealth
system, your military and try will be able.
Okay.
But the Arab world, military still tries. U.S. court martial, they have the military court. When they try woman court for, they don't even allow them to go to normal court. And only a different year. Power na ye de ama woman no. Omuti defense and force. Olusu ne life or olusu free. Ghana okay, obi mechire me military insurance da wo mu ho. America wa ma military for insurance. Ghana ye beti ma military insurance. Obi mechira me yene argument kwa rabon for madam fo Kabila momia musa Ghana government through the Ministry of Defense yatima ma Ghana military insurance defense you have to give them insurance. So civil police now even police United States and any advanced country beyond police have insurance. Ghana police insurance. Yakuna the only thing you get in say 21 gun salute near the flag red black and white near the betra and hoshia. Yeah. No. Obanko square wanko, oba nidi awanidi. Is that what you think we settle on? No. Obiaba a life a matter. Enitino, what we are saying is that send the see area na. People don't volunteer information and we keep silent. These are what is called the excesses.
And no more keep silent. The omba bibrimo.
Omba bomo.
And ti ompesa adi ane jamo release information.
Seba na minua Afrifa we area. And afa from baba bacho they are mokono mamunko if you we say and a problem no war they are human beings. They will know where they are going to find out their corporate what their man can and your man can so before body ni keke number 4 so much to say gangs be wo area ho now operation until they started by saying operation.
You and I know that is what we call framing at least.
Yes.
So omo view operation so they need to frame the story differently.
Oh we are normal.
But yemra back to the failing of our nation. Now successive government Aban from Yemfa the champion time. You Aban we say he's failed. I think the two of us can agree apart from Kwame Nkrumah and maybe a champion. We've complained bitterly about successive government. The Fourth Republic, so to speak, if there is anything called the Fourth Republic.
Yes, there is.
Fourth Republic. Na successive government, nyomo muye nyina we shebo oba Ghana beyond aid, so na busiye wabura na jesi no Ghana beg for aid. Ana woye. This is a point where is it that no krebi wo ho? Wamon kan chere ye say. Because I don't genuinely think that any of these people, be it Jomama, Kufuado, Kufuor, Mills, I don't think they set out from their home. Say, kwakubumai, na minor yukubuno. All we are going to do is say, my phone said no krebi woho. Has it got anything to do with the international system? Has it got anything to do with Ghana for you subai? I don't feel.
Okay, there are 3 systems.
Right.
You're administering a nation, managing a nation, and governing a nation. When you're administering, you make sure your institutions and this and that, everything goes on right. When you are managing a nation, it has to do with your economy and your resources and how things are done economically. So you're dealing with management. When you're talking about governance, how are buying, you better buy. Yiwi, Obi Muwi, Ene, Amambo, all put together. But the core issue here is the administration and management, which should the triangular shape, and we the citizens are in the middle. The administration, the management, and then also the governance. Okay? Then we can't legislative wing while legislative executive, no, that is in the judicial. That is not what we're talking about. The core operations are there, so these are the three. And now, you only do that as any serious nation, whereas you have what is called a plan. You only do that a long-term development plan, orchestrated, enacted, initiated by the country.
That is, I say, a call around the country. Develop a roadmap for ourselves.
Develop.
Okay.
Now, yes, a region we putting it together will draw the channel, and that is the steps. And what does it mean? It means what can from Kwame Nkrumah to Buzia, right?
Right.
To Akufo-Addo, and then also to a Champon, to a Akufo. All right? But before then, there was a Kotoka and then a FIFA. O country, Oma 12. Okay? Yamfa Ole no didi one day in come. See, I don't come with 13 plus another 14. From independence 1957 to 2023. 14 leaders plus Ole no di one day no can one abidi Ghana so. Shreme. Emu dia hen. Eno say, the plan be to her. Take out Nkrumah, he was the beginning, and to set the pace of one plan. There's a national plan. So he was stimulating on the plan. Name him after him, and let us not forget, Ghana got independence 1957 until 1960, and Sanya Bay Republic. So between 1957 and 1960, we're still under the presidency of the Queen Mother. Let us not get it. And if we're talking about independent rule, now Kwame Nkrumah ruled 6 years. And 8 years, 9 years.
9 years.
What I say?
Having the economic power now.
Power now was 6 years.
Right.
So, Ghana's independent from day one, Ghana had what is called an opposition, which was very unprecedented with other African countries now. Omunya independence, Ebinya 8 years, Ebinya 10, 15 years and beyond. Kenyatta must stay longer. But yenya independence, no opposition war. Into opposition, you started politics in term. You started politics in term. You a government plan called the National Development Plan, and you manifesto plan. So, the Fourth Republic, let me just cut the other side for time purpose. Fourth Republic, this is the 8th government. Jerry Rawlings, His Excellency late, Obeko 2 terms. His Excellency former President Kufuor, Obeko 2 terms. Prof. Mills, Nyaminfa Nekre NCE, one. President Mama, Omuko 2.
Right.
2 terms. Into 1632, this is the 32nd, the Muniekui, 8th government. MPP comes to power or comes into government with a launching of party manifesto. Party manifesto, I'm saying on this authority, say it is only for party manifesto is only how to make your party, only how to govern your party, only how to administer your party, only how to manage your party. Party manifesto does not become a government product of a national development.
You don't build a nation with party manifesto.
You can never, because your chair manifesto, they group members to go and write articles. Write on this, write on that. But if you pick NPP, NDC party manifesto, the first statement or the first page, the party seeks to strengthen what? Grassroots. The second page talks about how the party can sustain and win power. So poor economic decision, poor decision, political decision leads to a bad nation. And bad economic decision, political decision leads also in a very destructive nation. Meaning, say, the judgment is only focused on how a party, MPP, NDC, obey a kese. It is a party manifesto there, and so making sure what is a party member be no police man. Yen trust ya bema na kona nim, they could do baby say election ye hiana wababeboa. That is the party manifesto. Party manifesto says grassroots members, chairman, Atebubu, MPP chairman, Atebu NDC chairman, yen try senema, yen fabinko police, yen try senema, ebinko abroche, inti sebasa ye ko primaries also etimashe. This is the party manifesto. What does it mean, sir? Where have they written? Not any of the manifesto that says, sir, Say His Excellency John Mahama dying. No one we are Oba and Kusifu for Twaso. Where was it written? Say President President Kufuor. Yes, also soon.
But it's written in the constitution, so you may have it.
You are talking
government must
you're
continue.
talking about constitution. Do we have parliament or not?
Yes, your parliament.
Okay, so we have international diplomacy and international affairs. Thank you. Into what it means in say, we have the weakest. I'm sorry. We have the weakest parliament, and our parliament rather no. And it's not the presidency. It's not the executive. The parliament has the power. And then we said, we have done all the 8 successive governments under the 4th Republic. Yenya always majority in parliament because there is no third force. The majority in parliament, say president, say president, the majority will support the action of the president because they're part of the party member and they ascribe and subscribe to the manifesto, not what we are talking about. It is how Besati building schools, 25 schools, maybe 30 schools, E shape or L shape now. Or no, say, agenda 111. What does it mean? It means say agenda 111 would also make sure say the party members, is it different from also so yeah?
But J.J. Rollins gave us the Vision 2020 document. Now, Professor Mills' time, the Nimoy Thompson 40-year development plan was also given to the nation. And then the NTM any of these documents. I think President Kufuor menkai very well. And also by Vision 2020, ni Mukofa, Millennium Challenge, Millennium Development Goals, and
yes.
Why are we not able to continue as a nation to develop?
In the first place, an African country will go through certain colonial system. Won't me any even revenue that you can call on your own. Will still rely on your developing partners to budget, to balance your budget. While still uji aid and grant, still uji loans and stipends. South African country know very well say there are certain influence that come to bear on your decisions. We hear of defense budget, che American bem. We hear technology budget, che Germany and Japan bem. We hear interior budget, che Canada and immigration bem. We hear a lot of things, military, American for neighbor. Your friends are medical, American for neighbor. Into your permanent sales development partners, no say, add a little bit of interest. However, they don't, development partners, they don't stop you from planning for your country. It is not true.
They don't stop you.
They don't stop you.
But we are made to believe so almost will be our interest. So there is no way.
Our interest.
Okay.
Our interest said they are looking at a country that they can hatch on, they can latch on, they can hang on in the future. Say almost so the DNA resources say nema a him fan no free. And no chances are nema na yen abrofu no mini they have it. But they said they don't want to conflict with technology. America or gold shell, Colorado, your friend saying Las Vegas, or gold a shell. But own two, or Baba told dear. Alaska, or oil, a shell will Ghana, no kota. But own two oil. Alberta of Canada, the oil a shell Saudi Arabia, but own two. Why? Because they don't want to conflict with technology. They are believing in higher ends of technology, higher medical, you do operation, you do hospital equipment, you higher end equipment. They are finding more money than so kwakutuko. Or your machine, a kitwa bay say, $2 million because it's necessity. Or spend this out time go to as I say. So this is how they have created and established their economy. Nevertheless, when yasa higher ending because no train you into winter mayor to so not that was standing. They also so bet my and say, Semis gold in ampesa meton, and also cocoa nampesa metona, misumin dia more, namin tony ye, namsuminia revenue. Any of these arguments is not in our party manifesto. That turns out to be the government document. That turns out to be, unfortunately, the government document. She said, president, a certain president, all of the 4 in the Fourth Republic, or party headquarters, is a mandatory. He has to go. okoho na sa do waso kote ho na do ani kotete na utie nkoma a wo mu dia yen hwe emu ba kokura wo kan Ghana asem. The only thing they emphasize on is say hey na wo na no wo say mutie radio no wo say akwa wi kokan ekese enkomo no eye queer
nkomo hunu nko
nkomo hunu de may a little bit mama
queer
enkomo no ye queer fia ketwa bi mobo nkomo no nye de because it doesn't seek to attract and serve the purpose of the Ghanaian who is not in that room.
So for us to develop, we need a long-term national.
We have to bastardize all
that party
these
manifesto.
We don't need. Don't come and tell me about your party. I'm not a party person. Don't come and tell me how you want your school system to run because of your party. No, don't come and tell me how you want this.
But how do they go to the electorate? Elba convince you almost if we don't have party manifesto.
Because we've been made to believe in the political slogans and the talking of the politics. And into Ukwebi now party manifesto, Obejina constituency then Obeka. Meba beye toilet amamo is party manifesto. Meba beye bridge amamo party manifesto. The bridge is not your money, so you don't talk about it. When on earth, an American president, when on that the German Bundeskanzler, when on a France president, Etimako Jinaka said, Jeremiah Tenor, I built George Washington Bridge. Who dare you? Who bet me the campaign?
Because it is their development plan.
How can you make a campaign? You don't take credit of something you didn't take your money to do. You don't take credit to say, I see a gomwa abakrampa market. You don't come and tell me say, oh, pesa wukokoye way because a hono a vote beba. So the bad political decision only keeps you in government. Bad political decision only keeps you in government. The very good political decision, it advances, enhances, and builds a nation. And we don't take that good political decision. We take the bad political decision to keep in power. And the bad political decision is the manifesto. Bibi ombia rubbish. Go and read. Bibi ombia rubbish. So anybody who will convince me sitting here, Makalanta graduate, say, oh, person also be Ghana ye unless you will be able to tell me, say, where is our constitution? What are the constitutions and where are the parliamentarians? Do they even understand the socio-political analysis and the parliamentary analysis? So policies are not developed by politicians in any part of the world. Policies are developed by think tanks.
Policy think tanks.
Yes. And to the better while watching inside Obin. Your job is to advocate. You are an advocacy. Your job is only to manage that policy. Your job is only to administer that policy and to govern with that policy. And who tells you, say, Italy, governance system, no, Berlusconi na laws in the no way. Developmental agenda. Berlusconi will be in an say why bridge that? Has your friend is saying, Clinton, did he ever make one of the best American president ever lived? But
this is what we've seen over the years, sir. See, said you kind of toilet, this, that.
That is party.
A bit of mediocrity in the kind of things confused,
yes,
but very mediocre.
Yes.
Yes. A lot of people running up to this election are calling for, oh, there should be third force, there should be third force, there should be third force, there should be third force. Then you know Nigeria, say, Oshe Buhari nimfie ako animu ade. But before that, mame Emma yabuafo, mame Emma womo credit kakra. Womo mo boy me di jumadi bro so far darling lemon drink. Darling lemon no onuma kama Emma wo anije Emma fa feeling enti kope bi nenom. Darling taste it, feel it. We darling lemon so free wa High Spot Solutions Limited. Se wo pe will be obesi udain all the construction works for you. High Spot Solutions Limited is your best place. Solutions for all. extreme services and so rentals bibia opese be decorations mawa extreme services is your best place to be yada masese maso yasene emeye di dwumadi ebro for the records dwumadi foforo kra aba na they said yes dika aka no the year can be no is on record the year can be no verifiable and ye ne nipa na adwene mabobel na wasua de wo nima de Ghana ha obi anim say ye kase Wahab Faruka then he is an embodiment of knowledge ye ne no atwetwe komoni bia now it has gotten to the point that yebusa say the country Ghana I feel you say confused we don't know where we are going we keep going around in circles now nkrofo on the continent and the sub-region calling for a third force yehunu Nigeria after Buhari abre people thought that oh say the Buhari every 2 minutes bia no do London so ko no yare now here Tinubu ehwe Atiku people didn't need that kind of a rusty person that is unquote and they Peter Obi or the question so kranai and said that amfa is the continent Africa subcontinent ECOWAS and the Ghana Nigeria are we ready for eradication of the two-party system and bringing in a neutral person altogether?
Okay, I'm sure. Competition is between first two people before on the larger front. Competition in any kind. Say football match to competition in two. Say team in a country, say Manchester, and Liverpool. BBR 2-2-2 come first. Advanced world, bigger nations, parties, apart from the communist parties, North Korea, China, Cuba, any Nicaragua, some other countries, and all single party rule. But Bebiana a multi-party biano, two and a known. The other ones, let me pick up on the German system. Yes, the system acknowledges say Christian Democratic Union, (CDU), any Socialist Partei of Deutschland, (SPD). Sa wumi no their frontliners. However, omu diana a wechi a yanketenkete na wo be friend set third force no. They know say baby level no they will never get to the top in terms of numbers. However, omu so a policy bi a so de gi omu electoral votes.
Right.
Na sa policy no ebi ni say your friends omu green alternative party, green alternatives. Ono ne de ni say ono de obe make sure German environmental pollution, etc. Only pro-environment and anti.
So the party is just pro-environment.
And why we environmental advocate and I also believe in that ideology. And at the end of every political season called electoral season, biano, you two Bundeskanzler and I say you two omo prime ministerial elections in the year. Or no vote to be. We went to me 50+1, went to me 50+1. The two major parties, 50 SPD and CDU. I say we call alliance. Into a smaller party. We so person about okay. You believe in say you bicycle. You say the bicycle. You better say okay. You better say the environmental ministry in farmer. The other party also anti-defense. Say German obi be fe tuonam omo history nti akon. Enti yan party ne beji ye be join oni akọ government with the Ministry of Defense be ma yen. Wo de be ma no. Enti ono no make sure say what can see so one was sign say on family training call war and you can change it. Yet the had never been like that. But then the sub-Saharan African that you say obi betima third force. Yes, Benin Patrice Talon. He's the best president on the continent as we speak today.
Today?
Best president on the continent. Or you drop out, secondary school leaver, on your graduate, Patrice Talon, the inflation 2.8, your graduates, high top class economies, your inflation 62. What has he done? What identify say even chroma kwan voodoo no voodoo na mo be cheche niama no. Esika wo mche
that is religious tourism.
Yes. Enti we see museum akonfo nyina metena ho na mo tua tax obi ba no ba be request obebusa niama Manin Koda Sofitel. See the biggest Sofitel hotel in Benin. Be the biggest one, Radisson Blue. Momanin Koda, when you scan or so about Beshani Shebrim, Manin Koda, on for receipt himra, a house soon, a benfie, men to Chamo Jabiango, could you Chamo Janu Crassi, but the drone their church and fiber polish, manin ye. Taxes. Kokoshe Benin, John Matthew Kiruku, and then Yayi Bonnet. Meanwhile, he was chased out. Wanfa party and a buyer. Zambian president, he was also a neutral person. Wanfa Ruto of Kenya.
Yes. Zambian president, the current
one. The current one. In Mozambique president. And in Malawi, pastor. No? Listen to them. They all came from nowhere. But Diano, we are not prepared. Now back to Nigeria. Yes, your Peter Obi is not an independent party. Peter Obi had been a businessman, of course, but a politician that were called governorship for over 9 to 10 years. And to onye novice, Peter Obi had been a vice presidential candidate in 2019. Emma Atiku, and to onye novice in the game. Win name how Nigerian citizens say a youthful brand. I'll preach the gospel of what the youth wants to know. Our 52-year-old Ahmed Babadati, Emmanuel and running mate, said the two of them feel said we take Nigeria, new Nigeria into a different destination. And no said they haven't been politicians. Babadati Ahmed, he was also your friend said, no, also your governor. That was Zaria Hobebi. And they have all been there. But look at the Nigerian side, and then we'll relate it to Ghana, if it is possible. Nigerian side, politics. And your friend is saying, Tinubu, Asuwaju, Babatunde. Tinubu, a politician. Tinubu was an SPD. One, your friend is saying, Obasanjo, Oluseju, enya problem, and fie. The APC government of Buhari was formed by Tinubu, Nifie Nomoteye. The person who removed his money to fund the APC was Tinubu during the time of Obasanjo. Obasanjo ni Atiku ne core 8 years. So Ghana you can't say, and I breaking the third. No. Obasanjo, PDP co 16 years uninterrupted. Oko 8 years oni Atiku. And a Yaradua ebe call 4 years.
Jonathan ebe twaso.
Yaradua ewu in 4th year. Jonathan ebe call twaso. Owie ye no. Jonathan in 2015 na no owie in elections no. One no be contested Buhari. Obe contested Buhari no. And oni Namadi Sambo. Oni ni mienu ne ba as in a vice presidential candidate. Then the governor of Zaria. And odene baye. And no omu mienu lusu ye. That election in 2019, Atiku, what your friend say, Obi ne baye. Odu Obi baye na omu lusu again. That means say Buhari third term, the second term all from 2019 up to 2023 or DB no. Now Obi feel say the old political class of Atiku and the PDP, they were all PDP boys. What did I say? Babangida mean a PDP for. Last Obasanjo mean a PDP for. So APC was born out of Oma Omeni Obasanjo problem. Oji Sokalo, Amechi, all those boys. And the time I would say, sa APC no. Na Suwaju, Bolaji, or no Munakwana Kese, one presidential candidate. But they were looking at the exit already of a Guloko Echo, our Lusu 2015. And this woman pobia manabe contested dia. Ese yo pobia or yes strong and umkofa Buhari no tifia dene buy. Buhari was not attached to any political party. But Bola Tinubu could not have contested. And ordin is secretary, ordin manager, what else Osibanjo, Yemi, and ordin ma Buhari and coalition. Tamason. But there were more than like MPP in the 2008, more than 17 aspirants from contested party. No, what you say? Anna Onwa Jagabana, sorry, said the headmaster is here. Munina mo yankra. Baby elections na kuduno. Atiku why vibrant. Name the computer and as the internet president now to be in the AOB. Before so no be Atiku by surprise. But let us not forget, say, regardless of the fact that we free Anambra State, Onitsha, Obi had been in the party no in Lagos. Why a liar boy? And that was the reason why Otimi fighting with Tinubu one home grand Lagos headmaster na Otimi G a uniform in him.
So we need Lagos.
Oh, we need Lagos State.
Which obviously Tinubu was the one controlling
Tinubu
Lagos.
Tinubu was the headmaster of Lagos. Asiwaju. He's the big boy. And in fact, let us give credit. If one Ghanaian billionaire or Ghanaian politician had made anybody, nobody had given political birth than Tinubu.
Successive government.
In Nigeria, yes, of course. It's leave successive government being created billionaires like the oligarchs by the Putin. That makes a man a strong man. What I say? In the election, we know, yes, my practice is in the I understand. It's rather unfortunate, but at the same time, no, Buhari has signed electoral bill Nigeria for Enyebida permanent voters card PVC was signing Babasanjo anye Yaredu anye a good luck anye Obi anye regardless why
permanent voters card
PVC
and which yes here beto bia
where there be into what no forever you need bibia be for to save money why that bill will be a Nigeria president be hona no did into anye. So now Tinubu aba. Yes, P2B in perspective, let's discuss. Obi did what he could. Na hwedoye ene se. Time of free no kwoti Labour Party no. Onso mko NMPP. Ekoti another party. And san during the time of Buhari ba 2019, 2020, 2015 or 2019 no. All ba the third ne fana yi no. And Obi who say no. So dit atiku achia. Still no dominance no ho. Why popular? He's speaking. Or can my boys in bed. When the Nigerian youth, any APC government nya confrontation and SARS, he was the only person who came to condemn and stood side by side and demonstrated with the boy. That is the reason why Lagos State were lawyer they say allow you for boys a bit too much. And you want that novice. Now, you won't call it say be independent is rather a third force. And what made it competitive was the fact that in the whole Nigerian political history, the first time all the three major tribes are represented here. That is the competitiveness of it. Bola Siniju, Asuwaju, Jagaban, only here from Ogun, and I say, well, you Yoruba. And you benya Igbo man from Onitsha, Obi. And you benya your friend said, Northerner, I have a friend Atiku. And what do they have to do? They have to toss. And where I say, Onono, Asuwaju, Yoruba Nino, or free the West and the South. Now, so called North, no presidential vice president. Now, Obi, from the East. Now, so also called North, non so called proving the balance. Now, no, Atiku is from the North, so he also has to go to the East. Because any East for Igbo for they fine, and also call her and offer the candidate and one in the buyer. Now look at the interesting dynamics. Ghana for said Muslim to Muslim is not possible. Christian to Christian. His Excellency President Rawlings, one year Kakoi, one President Mills, they were Christian to Christians. Then none of them is Aka, no ye Northerner. J. Rawlings, no ye Northerner. One Prof Mills, no ye Northerner, no ye Muslim, one no Koi. President Kufuor Eddie Northerner. President Mama was a Northerner.
And no ye Muslim.
No ye Muslim. But Don Susuno Vice. Was he a Muslim?
So it was a Christian to Christian affair.
Christian affair. Whereas in Nigerian history, Tinubu is a Muslim. Shatima Kashim,
the vice president
is also a Muslim. So that is why strategically one can so Kopogi and also or Niger State Mina our benya moderate Christian kakra and also bitimenya baby Ogongola side Christian Bakubi. One kopebisa he sat down and planned said no, regardless men north na men konyu obi onso ye Muslim. Nien tested the waters of Muslim to Muslim. Tinubu may your winning one winning from the west and one winning next Ogun Oshun any those who appear kutam na. the bigger voting here from the north. Northern youth and a Tumano. So look at the dynamics. Muslim to Muslim has worked. Now, people are arguing about the man's age. Yes, of course. For me, I'll prefer a businessman who has made people, who has created employment, who understands econometrics and common economic management to rule me. Regardless. Meanwhile, the history on the African continent does not forbid an older person. It's only the consistency and answer. Obi or your oppressive and answer only there. How do you call it? What type of a government that we even call them? Or no, yeah, or you're too oppressive. No, or no, when you know, an answer still like a pobia, any some about a friend is a brother of a Congo brother. Or mono nabakas, you know, or you soon age at the same time, no, or a dictator. But what about your friend is a Senegalese Abdul Wad? Abdul Wad came to presidency at 70-something, 74. But what he did in 10 years, no West African president had managed to do that. Abdul Wad of Senegal, Okoye president, no, almost about 77 years. Go back to Senegal and check their records throughout Abdou Diouf and today's Macky Sall. Now, show me records, they are Kokran year 8 years. Share airport to see ye. Share roads or ye. Share hospitals, every constituent, every community hospital will see ye. Within 10 years. So it is not about the age. Yes, Opa walking stick. Me, I don't care. The reality of the matter is that if Tinubu will run Nigeria as a factory, he will run Nigeria as an enterprise, he will run Nigeria as a company, I don't care. American, let me borrow the US word. I don't fucking care of his age. It's what he would deliver. Regardless, I would have still preferred a young, vibrant two men. Because if not anything at all, Babadati Ahmed, Onunesi, Basel University, top class Nigerian trade private university was built by the young man. And this young man's father had 250 kids. And none of them, they've all been in the political limelight in Nigeria. They've all contributed their destiny. And it's a very strong family. And that boy would have really complimented, and he doesn't talk.
But still, they did not win. So
they didn't win.
So bringing it to the
but they were able to go into the PDP. Look at their number. They are PDP boys from the Labour Party. We mean a PDP for. And it's all aggregated on the article and ka omu APC. But because we push it out, and it is not a bad option for now. In any case, say Tinubu anya their first year. It gives Obi the clear chance. What does it mean? Mean say Omakiki PDP. Now Ghana, say Ghana bit many third force. Ghana is not prepared because our business psyche is that MPP, NDC, the fear is there. Tell me one single Ghanaian politician. Our new MPP, NDC mu. Our energy say or pursue defective. No going out of new way. No preachy. Not on the party manifesto, preaching national development, will be anyebi. And I have said, and I have remarked, said, so be better my yes, sir. Canada, Japan, on the primaries, Nemo Moko, no ko Lusua, Mimi propose and say, Uncle independent. Third force, what is third force? Ghana or third force, and nay, Sofu Chabosum, 116,000 votes. What do I say? And nay, a Malata market vote a population you pay. Nationwide, do you call that one a third force? There's no third force in this.
So can Japan or court no will suit in the primaries now?
Or break it away. And all the independent so-called forces, all of them should come out. Let Ghana politics, MPP, NDC, taste a real third force, not an independent. Third force as in a party. But if even is an independent, let somebody stand out. That is what we don't have. Obi Maebi. It will be because we're a PDP boy. It will be because we're a PDP. What the PDP in the core governorship? Our niche for 2 terms. And what says when you're a politician? He's a politician, all right. But we'll take a bold decision and say, my share MPP more bread, my share your friend is saying, NDC more bread, Mesuso may come away, regardless, and Lokoti labor, and a fire. Do you understand me? That is what we need. Until let me throw the chance, FIFA, what are you doing?
I know there's all coaching and every other stuff.
What are you people doing?
So in the nutshell,
yes,
Ghana is not ready for a year third force.
I haven't seen anybody.
You haven't seen anybody?
Because,
When you ask me what am I doing, why me? Why do you say what am I doing?
Because one say face the nation said the mahoke can city usidi kodwan bochi musim kasa no me pese me hu young men in action sir na some of us nso no yes ye meboa mu bi what is energetic what I say in Europe in the 90s in the 1993 coming we introduced by middle 40 Clinton 43 from American side Tony Blair 43 Schroeder 43 and then the whole Europe at a point obi anu anyina ya Sergio Berlusconi obi anu anyini ansana your friend is saying French president also so Jacques Chirac also so edibu o maka nyina na obi ya under 40 and the decent na say your 38-year-old girl Jacinta New Zealander what's up say Afrifa say who Australian so what are we talking about? There should be a certain youthful exuberance injected into the system and break and stop because the all politics is not helping us because Ghana is on elite crowds and these are two parties look at the background from A to Z. Oma leading party is elite system. And if we have to move out from the elite system there, we need that kind of a third force.
A radical
youth
that will inject some.
That will inject some. That will be
and
the
you
emergency.
Think I can do it.
Who you can do it to only Captain Smart combination. The FIFA president, Captain Vice, or the other way round. Kabeyefe. Yes, Ojao. Someone the same.
I think this interview has to have a second part. Where we was it only Captain Smart? When you say, oh, hey, I think it's a challenge thrown to us. Which we can consider it. That is how come this interview is going to have a second part to it, which next week Yabesa Ede Abremo for the records. Third force. Nimuno Yahuno President Awaba Abidi Bipeng. And Yahuno Vice President and whoever they are going to elect or Baba. They've been in the system for 32 years. Are they going to come up with any ideas? Is there going to be a third force? I'm sure we have a Mrekakra to decide on that. Other than that, we can go none of the above and see. So, maybe a third force in the and none of the above. On that note, I say, I will have Farouk. He's my father, a very intelligent man. I've always wished to be like him intellectually. And yes, because yani abwa asem ye ka adwene nyansa ni nimde ye de ebu mind. He has it. So menene di nkomo wa chire na so or promises say obetimi ama ye funding. Why not? Papa, me that's so why. The
Mekan say we live in a nice country. Upon their flaws, regardless of our flaws as a country, unfortunately, rather it's one of the countries that, in terms of peace, Ghana with peace ahead and more. I think we should be the second or the third best peaceful nation on the continent of Africa out of 1.4 billion population. On that, we should be able to stand on that and then rearrange, reorganize, and then make our political system work to have an impact on the country and the citizenry. Or the forceful citizens wouldn't know how to do demonstration. Ghana was citizens only know how to be on the street and to run after somebody. Ghana was citizens we on the whole continent of Africa, cross-tribal marriage, we are the top on the continent of Africa.
So we have a beautiful country.
So we have a beautiful, beautiful country.
Regardless of our
regardless of you got a but country near nice in terms of peace.
For the records, Omo boy send him dika kan me edi jumadi ne bae na ya darling lemon alcoholic drink. So na High Spot Solutions Limited. Solutions for all building construction amount. Extreme Services Limited. Ebano Rentals. Canopy, chairs, bibia, decorations, be a wedding, funeral. Extreme Services Limited. Next week, the show for Ebebro. I will have Farouk and Ayuchenko. And come here for the records. By your way next week. Meeting Edward Katechi, Afrifa-Mensah, which me from the youth president. Upio Sanity. Bye bye.